5 creepy ass true stories. I don't know what this entails. I see a lot of people reacting to like ghost stories and creepy stuff. So we're gonna see what this is all about. Cause honestly, um, do I believe in like ghosts and stuff? Absolutely. But I don't even know if this is ghost related or a creepy. But we're gonna check it out here on today's episode, and we'll see you guys after the intro.
Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table we were sitting at the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low, raspy giggle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand, right where I left it.
Wait, somebody answered your phone, but when you got home, your phone was on the nightstand. What? That's some oddness right there.
Number 4. When I was a kid, I was always the last kid to get picked up by the bus driver to go to school. One day I was waiting for the bus by myself, and a bus with no kids pulled up. The bus driver smiled and told me to hop on. I just had a bad feeling. I said, "Where are the other kids?" He said, "We will go get them now. Just get on." He got more and more pushy but didn't do anything crazy. I just kept saying no and he shrugged and left. The real bus pulled up a few minutes later. I went to school and my parents didn't know until I mentioned it that night.
That's odd. That's like some kidnapper, like human trafficker or something.
Looking back, they were pretty worried. I remember them scrambling to make a few phone calls. Number 3. A few years back, I rented an apartment from a friend of mine. He had recently bought it and had it completely renovated. He put it up for sale but couldn't find a buyer, so I offered to rent it in the meantime. After moving in, I realized there was something wrong with the lady next door. She was about 45 but looked much older. She would sit up all night listening to Christian radio shows and talking loudly to someone. It got to the point where I couldn't sleep, so I went over to her place and asked her to keep it down. She opened the door and I got a quick peek. Her walls all had crosses painted on them in different colors, and words like Jesus and angels scribbled everywhere. The windows were painted black, letting no light in at all. It was damp, yellow-stained 50-year-old carpets, dog shit and cockroaches everywhere. No dog though.
That ain't dog shit. That's human shit. Wow, this lady is mentally unstable or something. Ta. Oh, I'd be there. I'd be like slamming. I'd be out. If I seen dog shit and I seen the windows blocked out and I seen Jesus Christ everywhere written on the walls, yeah, I'm not staying. I'm turning around and bouncing. Ha ha, that ain't time for me to be there. Nope, no sir.
I asked her to please keep it down. She just looked at me and shut the door. Then she turned up the radio even louder. The next night I had my girlfriend staying over. I wake up in the middle of the night and see a shadow of a person next to the bed, looking at us sleeping. I think I'm hallucinating, as I usually do in the dark when I'm sleepy. But then the shadow starts talking. It's my neighbor and she's holding something in her hand. She broke in during the night and who knows how long she stood there. You should lock your doors at night.
Oh, if you're telling me this kid or whoever he's talking about didn't lock the door, I locked the door even in a nice neighborhood because you don't know what kind of creepers out there. Lock that door. You open that door to walk in, click, click, lock it up because you don't know creepers are out there. I'm not having some weirdo come into my house. Hell no. Deadbolt, normal lock, you ain't coming in. Keep on knocking because you ain't coming in,
she says and walks out. The next morning I hear someone.
So basically this dummy had a door that was unlocked so she could break in. dummy.
Neighbor, and she's holding something in her hand. She broke in during the night, and who knows how long she stood there. You should lock your doors at night, she says, and walks out.
Duh.
The next morning, I hear someone making strange noises below my bedroom window. It's my neighbor talking to herself in tongue. She has a plastic bag in her hand with her rotting dead dog inside. It's hot as hell outside, and I can smell death from that bag.
Like I told you, the lady is mentally unstable.
At this point, I'm scared shitless. She's obviously very insane. I go upstairs and knock on another person's door and ask them what the hell is going on. The guy is as scared as me. Apparently, she broke into his apartment one evening as well while he was watching TV with his kids.
Did nobody think to call the cops? To say there's a lunatic that's breaking into people's apartments that has a dead dog in a plastic bag with dog everywhere?
He got up from the couch to get a snack, only to find her behind the couch, staring at him holding a power drill. Come to think about it, now I know what was in her hand. At this stage, I'm basically shitting myself. I call the cops and they know all about her. Apparently she's a violent schizophrenic and she hasn't taken her meds, but they can't force her or enter her apartment without her permission because she owns it. The only thing they can do is get her when she goes outside. I sit up for the next 2 days, waiting for her to run out of cigarettes. When I hear her leave at 2 a.m. to go across the road to the 7-Eleven, I call the cops. They have 3 cars and a special van over in less than 2 minutes. They restrain her and throw her in the van and drive off to some institution, and in less than a minute, it's like she was never there. I never see her again. Still have nightmares about her looking at me in my sleep.
Hell yeah. I would move from that apartment ASAP. Even if the neighbor came in and they're staring at me in the middle of my night over my bed with me and my girl in the bed, I'm punching somebody. I would move so quick it's not even funny. I'm not gonna be the white dude. Oh yeah, I gotta see what's up. Yo, what's up, neighbor? Have you seen the creeper? Hell no. I would tell everybody to get the hell out of that apartment complex and get the hell out. That is creepy. That is weird. She's crazy. The power drill, I'm surprised she didn't go zh, zh, and then kill the guy. Obviously, she did that to her dead dog.
Number 2. I was about 15 minutes from finishing the night shift at work when there was a massive crash on one of the windows in the office, so I get up and go check it out. Someone has thrown quite a sizable rock through one of the windows on the front of the building. This is made especially weird because I'm working in the industrial district at 11:30 at night with none of the other businesses open. I go back to my desk, put a quick call through to security to let them know, and decide to head home. As I'm leaving the building, I'm freaking myself out about it more and more and end up running to my car, getting in and taking off. I'm almost home and I've started to calm down a bit when I realize that I didn't unlock my car when I got in. It had been unlocked the whole time. I do a quick check with my hand in the back seat for any possible murderers that might be hanging around there, but there's nothing there. Fast forward about 30 minutes. I've called a friend of mine who says he's out drinking, so I decide I'm going to join him. I jump on my bicycle and start riding over. I'm doodling along the road on my bike. It's a nice night and I'm in no big rush.
You're in no big rush, but you just had a creepy ass incident. I wouldn't be on the bike.
Just enjoying the moonlight when I hear someone riding behind me. I straighten up and stick to one side of the road.
What if there was an automated software that could make passive income for you? You've probably heard about...
He passes me really slow when I hear someone riding behind me. I straighten up and stick to one side of the road. He passes me really slowly, and when he's right beside me, he shoots me a smile, and I can describe it as purely insane. I kind of flinch and am taken aback as he rides on. That's when I realize he's riding my mom's bike. Needless to say, I sprint the hell home.
So you're telling me, was the dude in the back of your car, was the person in your car this whole time? That's creepy, man. What? Oh, what? How is this the same dude that threw the rock in the window? That's not a coincidence. That's a creeper ass person. Wow.
When
All
I
right.
get there, sure enough, her bike is missing and one of my car's doors is open. The back left one.
So how am I? If you realize your car is unlocked when you go to get in, search that mother trucker. You get in and take off, you don't realize there's somebody in your car? How you not notice that? You can't tell me, well, you just got in and you didn't look in the back seat. Like, come on now. You gotta look.
I was driving and had no need to open that door.
That's weird.
Number 1. I worked at a campground on night shift, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every night. It wasn't bad. I would bring in my PS2 and game a good portion of the night, only having to deal with 1 or 2 people on busy nights.
PS2, that's old.
It was just me in this little 8-foot by 8-foot shack, with nothing around but dark all night. My first week there, the other third shift guy who was quitting told me about this payphone a few feet from the shack where I worked. He said it rang every night at 4:17 a.m., just once. It was probably just an automated test call, he guessed. He's never answered it himself. I go for a few months with the job. It was the middle of the summer, so most nights I had the windows closed, so I couldn't hear the payphone go off. Mid-August, I started leaving the windows open during the night. Sure enough, at 4:17 a.m. every morning, the phone would ring once. The ring even sounded creepy, like the payphone was submerged in water and then put where it sat. One night I got up the nerve to answer it. I set an alarm at 4:15 and would go wait at the phone until it rang. When it did, I answered it, but there was no sound, just dead air like someone was on the other line but wasn't answering. I said hello a few times and hung up. I did this every night for a week with the same results. I didn't think anything of it and left it alone after that for about a month. The first week of October, I decided to answer the phone once again. I set my alarm and when the time came, I answered the phone. I repeatedly said hello into the phone. Then I heard what sounded like someone inhaling through clenched teeth. The voice that sounded was rough and sounded like he had gargled gravel. He said my name, my complete name, first, middle, and last. It was a voice I've never heard. My voice caught in my throat and I hung up. I rattled some change into the payphone and hit star 69. The number had come from California. I lived in Indiana.
You know what's weird? Before we get over this video, the weird part is my parents in the 1980s got a phone call from somebody in jail, and they called my grandma's house talking about my pops. They didn't know anybody in jail, and the dude knew my dad's name, where he worked, and they were like, this is weird. And they called the jail and said, hey, did so-and-so call us number? How they get this number? And they're like, and they did research, and it was somebody that was calling from the other side of the state. But how the hell do they know his name, where he lived, where he worked? Just like this. How would somebody in Indiana, let's say they didn't know anybody in California, call somebody and go, hey, I know your name, Billy Smith, Tom. And you're like, what the hell? Who's this? I know you. I know everything about you. That's crazy. Weird. Strange. But crazy stuff does happen. I'll say this, guys. Everything in...
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you...
Has thrown quite a sizable...
And I'll say this. Everything in life happens for a reason. I believe that. I believe everything that happens for a reason. I believe in ghosts, the weirdness, the creepiness. These stories, like the lady in the apartment, if that happened, right, I would not be in that apartment the next day. I'd be calling the manager, hey, I'm moving out. You got some wacko stalking me, coming into people's apartments. I'm out. But if you guys like these kinds of stories, I'm pretty interested in them. And if you guys like them, enjoy them, want to see more of them, we can jump on them. Because it doesn't always have to be music-related videos. But this is some creepy-ass stuff. Wow. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.